Hey there, welcome to the REI Friends podcast. My name is Catherine Storing, your host, and I just finished talking to Lisa. We had such a lovely, down to earth, kind of like sister conversation about real estate, and she's starting in her journey, her and her husband. And it was just such a beautiful story. If you're looking for inspiration in someone that started in their 40s and really enjoying the process, this is a podcast that you're gonna be able to relate. I hate those shows where people have 10,000 houses and they've been doing this for 10,055 years, and there you are, like just getting started, trying to get on their own ramp, and you're like, I can relate to those people. That is not this show, at least not yet. So you're gonna find inspiration. You are gonna so be able to relate with the family that decided to take control of their future and their finances because of family reasons. And I cannot think of anything better than doing real estate investment because of your family. So this podcast episode, it was very special, very family oriented. I think you're gonna enjoy it. I certainly did. And Lisa dropped a bomb on us. I did not know she was working on something. And you definitely want to stick around towards the end to hear what she's working on, because it's going to be amazing for brand new real estate investors. And then she drops the information so you can join as well. So make sure that you stick around for that. Thanks so much for watching, for listening. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss any of our episodes. Let's get started with this episode. Hi, Lisa. Welcome to the REA Friends podcast. How are you? Please let us know a little bit about yourself.
Hi, so nice to meet you. I'm so happy to be a guest on your show. I am a fan, and I've been listening to all the podcasts. So I'm Lisa Araujo. I'm a real estate investor. I live in Florida now. Originally, I'm from New England, and I've lived in Florida for about 7 years now. And me and my husband are business partners in life, but also business partners. So we're new to real estate investing. We've been doing it for I would say, got the bug about 3 years ago, but without even knowing we had the bug, we got into it. So that's a little bit about us.
I love it. Thank you so much. I love you. So you're a fan. I love that. I love it. And I love the fact that you said, I am a real estate investor. I love that so much. It's fantastic. And that you are a fellow New Englander, which is amazing. I think once you're a New Englander, you always are at heart. But I love that you are in lovely, warm Florida. We're still having cold days here. So glad that you're in a nice place. So tell us, you got the bug. Did you know how you got the bug, the real estate bug?
Well, I always loved looking at houses and looking at ways I could remodel them, just that kind, you watch HGTV, that started like with that. And like every day I would be on my phone, always have houses emailed to me to see, to get to know the market. And then over time, I would know, this is a good deal. This is not a good deal, getting, just by doing that every day. And then, me and my husband were looking for a house, and I came across the house we're in now, and it had a detached garage, and the garage is almost the same size as the house. It's like 1,400 square feet.
Wow.
And so, we were like, we can turn this into a guest house or accessory dwelling unit, ADU, and, rent it out if we want to. So that's kind of what we did. And my husband was handy. So we did all the work except, we had to, get an electrician, AC, plumbing, that's required. But it took 10 months for my husband to do it because, he works full time. And then poor guy, he was working really hard, and he would come home every day after work and just put hours in. Plus our family helped, and a close friend of ours from Rhode Island, he would come down and help. So it was really good, and we got it done. And so then we started renting it out, and it's as a long-term rental. Okay. And it worked out very well. And so now, we're thinking we're under contract for another house. And so we're almost closing on that one. So kind of, we're looking into moving to that house and turning this house, including the guest house, into like putting on Airbnb, VRBO, short-term rental.
That's exciting. That's amazing. So you started kind of innocently, like many of us start, right? We love HGTV. We're looking at houses, into like other people's business, because it's nice to know like how people live and stuff, right? So you're innocently looking at houses. People start sending you stuff, and then you bought this house. Now, it's amazing to me how you guys just jumped into. Wait a minute, this garage is really big. Let's make some money, and then you went into the long term. So 8-10 months you said doing all the work and then finally put it on the market. How all that now you already live there, right? So were you guys funding it yourself? Did you have a line of credit? Where you guys get the money to turn the garage into an apartment?
Well, we had some of the money because we had a house like 20 minutes from us that we had sold, and we had bought really low when back in Florida when it was, the prices were low. So we lived there for 2 years, and over that 2 years we gained a lot of equity. So we were able to take some of that money and put it towards that. And then we also used, believe it or not, for the actual materials. And this is something a lot of people might not know about, but it's just, I'm going to put it out there because it helped us, a Home Depot project loan. And basically it's like a line of credit, and it's only interest only for 6 months. And then once the 6 months is up, they turn it into like a 7-year loan, and then you can pay on it. But we did that just for the materials. So we could have that other money to pay, for the contractors, whatever we needed to do. So that kind of actually, helped out. And then, when you gain equity, you can just, pay that off.
That is so good. I had no idea. So that is such a great tip. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about it, but it's really a good thing because while you're doing the project, it would be good for flips too, because while you're doing the project, you just pay interest.
Right. And sometimes depending on the flip, if you're doing a minor flip, you should be done within 6 months or less. So you can actually probably do the whole thing and pay it off and never pay, anything else. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I thought I would share that because it really helped us a lot, because we had most of the money, but we just didn't have quite enough. So
yeah, no, that makes sense. That's fantastic. So it's so great that your husband is handy. But I also love that he knew his limitations. Like, okay, let's just bring people for the real big things, and I'll do the stuff that I can do. So I'm sure that also helped you, saved you guys money, right?
Yes. Plus, when you're in certain areas, like we're in Florida in our county, you can be the owner builder. So my husband was the contractor, but you have to get a licensed electrician, plumber, AC, that's required. So he couldn't even do it if he wanted to. But at least you save on having a general contractor, which can save you like 30%.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Okay, so you guys, takes 10 months, you guys get it done. How did you find your first tenant?
So we posted it on like a Facebook marketplace, and we were overwhelmed. We got like at least 90 inquiries.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then we ended up we found somebody right away. It was somebody who was going to be here, transient. So a lot of times in Florida, you get a lot of transient people coming in and out. So she stayed for about 6 months. And then after that, we had another tenant come in for about a year, who just moved out recently. So now that's when we started to think about, let's make the next move. Let's get another house. And then we want to do the short-term rental, try it.
Right. Yeah. Because I'm seeing people are doing that. There's an episode coming out tomorrow, actually, about short-term rentals. And she is like the queen of short-term rentals. And when I see what she's posting on Instagram, the numbers that she's getting, like she just posted today, and she got one person, one guest is paying 2 of her mortgages. I'm like, those numbers are
awesome.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, because you get like 3 times the cash flow depending on where you are. And if you do it, you have to compete with the other ones in the area, make yours stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'll recommend everyone to definitely listen to that episode, because she has some great tips for people that want to be on short term. So definitely look out for that episode.
Oh, I will.
Awesome. So you said that you guys were doing that. So do you basically, is this apartment paying for your mortgage or closed? Like, how were you able to determine how much you could get for that apartment?
So I would look at the rents in the area and see what, it's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, but it's pretty big. It's like 836 square feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty big. And we did it on a higher end level to be able to get more rent. And plus we wanted it to kind of look the same as the main home as far as like the inside and how it was remodeled. So we went a little bit higher end, but it was worth it. So it was paying almost the mortgage, like almost. So it's worth it. And I think we put in 65,000, but then after the appraisal, we ended up with equity of like 100,000. So that was sweat equity.
Yeah, that's it's amazing because it's like your first try, your first deal. You almost kind of accidental investors because you just bought it to buy your house and then looked at the dash garage and saw it differently, which I think is such a great lesson to just be open to change something and make that huge investment with time, sweat equity, of course, and then the money that you put in. But look how it paid off with, almost not quite double, but like 35% of equity. That's amazing.
Yeah, it worked out. So we were happy.
That's incredible. That's awesome. So then you said, now that you've done that for like a year and a half or so, and now you're coming up to, this is working out. Now let's get another property. How do you guys go about doing that?
So we wanted to stay in our same neighborhood because if it's going to be on Airbnb, we want to be close by. We just prefer that, especially since we're new to that. So, and since my husband is handy, he'll be available to, fix anything. So we've been looking for a while, like we've been taking our time, and like almost a lot of houses went up in the neighborhood. But then one of our neighbors across the street said, we're moving. So I said, me and my husband are real estate investors. If you let us take a look before you put it on the market, maybe we can come up with an agreement, or, we'll see if we like it and we can, see if we can work it out. So he said, okay, I'll take you up on that. So he did. And we saw the property and we liked it. And so we got under contract. And the reason why we did that was because we want to be competing in this market with everybody. It's hard to win an offer right now. So, and this house has a value add. We always look for houses that you can add value. And the first floor has like a separate bedroom and bathroom attached. And behind the wall in the back of the garage, the owner made like an air conditioned room. So we can open that wall and make like a kitchenette. And we could probably lock that out and do Airbnb just with that section of the house because the rest of the bedrooms are upstairs. So that's kind of why we really like the house. And then in the backyard, it has a huge backyard that backs up to like a preserve. And so if we want to put another ADU and build one from scratch, we can do that as well. So it has like a couple of things where we can add value to it.
Amazing. Yeah. So I'm just curious. I know you said that you caught the real estate investing bug, but it sounds like you know a lot of things, a lot of terms and a lot of strategies. How did you learn about all the things that you have been talking about?
Oh, okay. I didn't tell that part. So like about a year ago, me and my husband, we've had some hardships over the past few years. My parents died over a short period of time. We just have gone through some hardships. And my husband has some health issues. I mean, he can work and everything, but he does have some health issues. And we really reevaluated everything, and we really want to take back control of our time, and we want to be able to work for ourselves. So that's when I really said, okay, we agreed, let's take this to the next level. And I started, I joined Bigger Pockets. I started listening to YouTube, webinars, going to webinars, Facebook, joining Facebook groups. I know we're in one of the same Facebook groups.
Yeah.
So that's what I really started delving deep into and connecting with people. And I just was committed to learning about it. So now I kind of have some background. And I was listening to a podcast about short-term rentals on Bigger Pockets. And that's when I really caught the bug for it and was, have been researching that part of it, learning how to analyze deals.
Yeah, that's powerful. I thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. But sometimes those are the best things that can happen to us because it wakes us up, right? So having a job, even having a high paying job is great, but then they own you, they own your behind, right? You have to show up all the time. And then it's almost like you got a taste of life is short. And if life is short, am I spending my time the way that I want to? That makes sense?
Yes. Yeah. And that's kind of what we want to, don't have to, especially now everything's changing. We don't want to depend on, someone else providing for our, being our livelihood. I mean, I have a full-time W-2. I'm a registered nurse. My husband's full-time. He does like data rooms and stuff. But we work full-time,
Right.
and, but we don't necessarily want to do that the rest of our lives.
Right. Yeah. I know that's powerful. And I think that is, well, that's the appeal to me. Even though I have my own business and I love it, I think there's something to be said about having your money work for you. And that's what real estate does for you. It's built with time, and you're also providing a nice place to live. I love what you guys say. You guys went high end. Where do you get that mindset of, instead of going cheap, you could have just slap some paint, do the cheapest work possible, but where do you develop the mindset of, hey, if we spend more money, we're gonna get more for our buck and we'll be able to get better, because you also attract better people when you have a nicer property.
That's kind of what we were aiming for, attracting better people, because we live on the property. So we wanted good tenants, I mean, you get good. I'm not saying you don't at a different price point. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, it's all about what type of people you want to attract to. So that's why we kind of went that route, because we have to live with whoever's on the property. And the guest house is detached, but it's close. So,
Right. So there's gonna be some contact at some point. That makes
Yes.
total sense. So I think it's making that decision of what kind of lifestyle do I want to have, and even though I'm opening up my house, the property to rent, I still want to hang out or be in contact with people that that you don't hate. That's kind of important.
Yeah, definitely. I want to say throughout all this, through also researching the real estate, going to Facebook groups, going to meetups and everything. I also, in the midst of all this, an idea came to my head. It was probably from God, because, I don't know where it came from. But,
Right.
I kept on saying, looking on Facebook groups and everybody saying, I'm looking for a partner to, invest with. You go to the real estate meetups. A lot of people are saying that, but it's almost like an awkward thing, because they say, don't, promote yourself. You can't, how do you solicit yourself or whatever for a partnership?
Right.
So how do you really go about it? So it was very awkward for me. And I'm like, wait a minute, I might have a problem to solve. So this idea came to me where I love connecting people. That's another thing I love, like getting people together, oh, I know this person, I know this person. And I'm working on a service right now to match up real estate investors, specifically for a partner match to invest together so they can jumpstart their real estate career. And I'm also building the expert team. So not only can they invest together, but they'll be matched up with a team.
Oh my God.
So this came in the whole
that.
midst of it. So I'm working on it. I have a website. It's coming soon. So I'm throwing it out there to see if there's a need for it. But I do see that come up a lot in the groups.
Absolutely. I love that, because the thing is that I always tell my clients this: the problem that you have or you have had before, there are so many people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You best believe other people have that problem. And the money is where you solve a problem. And I think, yeah, for sure, I can see how people are shy or they feel awkward and they're like, where do I find people? And it's like, there's people everywhere, right? So I'm excited about that. Definitely give us the link once you have the website. If you have it, we'll put it in the show notes, because that's exciting. Congratulations.
I definitely will. It's up, but it's not full service because I'm still working on the details. But I do have a website where you can fill out the form, contact us. And then when we're up and running, we'll contact you. And also for the experts, I'm trying to look for expert investors to be on the team to help coach because I'm the connector. Obviously, I'm a new real estate
Yeah.
investor. I'm not the expert yet,
Yeah.
but I want to connect the two together because I feel like in life I got started late. We didn't buy our first home till we were 41. I don't want that for others. Like I want them to be educated so they can start this journey earlier. So, it'll be better if you can start earlier. So that's kind of like the thought process and creating a safe place for people to come. You're coming for the same reason and the same purpose.
Right. So. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I might have someone for you that is an amazing seasoned investor. I'll definitely make a connection. And just FYI, I get the whole age thing because I'm going to buy my first real estate investment property when I'm 46. Okay.
Yes.
So never too late, but it feels like almost like my second act, if you will.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel old, but it just feels like a right time, like the right time to do it. So I know people are doing it younger, they're doing it, but the perfect time is now. The perfect time is when you realize that this is something that you want to do and you just jump. So
right. It's never too late. But then again, if you can kind of like educate the younger generation, like you can do this.
Oh my God, I could have done this. I could have done this. Like I remember the first house that I ever bought, I was kind of like flogging myself because I couldn't tell you how much the mortgage was, even though my name was on the mortgage, even though I was paying part because I was married, I was paying part of the mortgage. I couldn't tell you what the rate was. I couldn't tell you the name of the bank. I couldn't tell you the due date. And I'm like, how irresponsible is that? Like I'm gonna live there. Like I'm paying part of this. Like, why don't I know all these things? So I think is taking responsibility and being an active participant of the thing that you want. So now when I'm doing it as an investor, you best believe that I'll know all the numbers, I'll know all the things because it's different. Now I have awareness.
Right. And I think it's important for, I wish when I was that age, like even in college or high school, they would, teach you more about that then. But, it's happening now. So.
Exactly. It's happening at the right time. And now when we say it to other people, they'll listen because they're like, hey, they wish they had it. It's not like we're saying it from a high horse. We're saying it from a place of almost reluctance or from a place of like regret, not in a bad way, but still regret of, I wish I'd known this earlier. So I definitely feel like I am encouraging people even through what I did the podcast, because I really wanted to learn more and connect with people that are doing the very thing that I want to do, which is fantastic. So you're doing that is awesome. We'll definitely put the information in the show notes so people listening and eventually watching will be able to connect with an investor, which is so cool. So you're buying the second house, which is insane. That is across the street.
Right.
And so are you going to keep the apartment long-term, or you're going to put both on Airbnb?
I'm going to put both because I can have large groups. So I can have 10 people. So, because it's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. So I can have 10 people, which is great because my area does need larger groups, more properties. So I think that will be the best strategy for that.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So plus I don't want to have a long-term renter and then maybe
and then have people coming in and
then
out all the time.
Yeah. I think that's the best strategy. And I did talk to somebody in the community who has like a big, a larger group Airbnb, and she was giving me some advice. Like I met her at a real estate meetup group. But so that's what I think the strategy we're going to go with.
Right. That is so smart. Like I wouldn't even thought about that, but you're going to kind of merge them together. And it's nice because even like, let's say that a couple or 2 couples want to go, right? They go together, they can still have some sort of privacy, even though they're part of the same party. So
yeah,
love that.
Yeah. If they have kids too, or if they're traveling with kids, they can go in the guest house and then the rest of the family can go in the main house. Or if you have in-laws and they want the guest house.
That's so good. So let me ask this. I'm gonna get nosy with the numbers. So you already have this property. You added the apartment, and you're buying a house across the street. Are you buying that as it's like a second like a second home? How do you guys manage to be able to have this second property?
So we're doing it as a conventional loan because it's a prime. We have to move to it, so it'll be 5% down. So which is kind of the best way to do it, because you
Yeah.
put the least amount down. So we did it that way because we're going to have to live in it anyway. So might as well just put the lower amount down and have money in our pockets, because there's a few things that need to be done in the new house.
Yeah.
Not tons of things, but there's things that need to be done. And if we want to do that, just that separate room and lock it out, then we'll do some upgrades for that.
That makes
And
sense.
put that on Airbnb as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's what I plan to do, is to live in houses for a year and then just take advantage of FHA every year until I get to the commercial size. So that's a great strategy. That put down the least amount, because I know some people have been talking some, I call it nonsense, like put a lot of money down, and it's like, why would you want to do that when if your strategy is to have more properties? You probably want to put less money down so you can have more money left over so you can do it again. But again, everybody has their own strategy.
Yeah, and it's similar to ours. Like, we want to buy another house in a year and do that again. I think it's good, for us to just kind of, as beginners, to just kind of take it a little bit slow and see how it goes. And, everybody's journey is different, and that's the approach we're going to take for now.
Yeah, it's funny you say slow. I mean, that's like a second property in, in a year. So, so for some people that might be slow, but I think that's amazing that you guys are doing that and you added a second unit. So that's powerful. So when are you guys closing on the second unit, on the second property?
Monday, we're supposed to close, actually.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. That is fantastic.
If everything, we have to get something in by tomorrow. If it gets in, then we can. If not, it'll just be a couple of days, but Monday, hopefully.
That is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. So along the way, have you had any people that have kind of questioned what you guys are doing, or naysayers saying, why are you doing this? This is crazy.
Not really, honestly. I have really supportive family and friends. And if anything, they just encouraged us to do it and helped us fix things up. Or, my in-laws have been a major help. They come in on the weekends and they'll just help us with whatever we need. So no, I don't think I've had anybody say, why are you doing this?
Wow.
So it's been good. It's helped.
That's awesome. I love it, because I know sometimes you share something with people and they will just find anything and everything they can try to poke holes at your strategy. So I'm glad that was not your experience. So let me ask you this: looking back at when you first started, knowing what you know now, what would you like to have known then that you know now?
I would say, like I said before, get started as early as you can. Yeah. Get educated as early as you can, and just do it the way you want to do it. Educate yourself, but know that you have your own plan, and you can't look at other people's way of doing it or what they're doing and compare yourself, because God has a plan, and your plan and my plan is different, and that's okay, because there's no right or wrong. It's just our journey, and just enjoy it. Don't try not to stress, because me and my husband had a lot of stress. It's hard, you're married and then you're dealing with remodel for 10 months, and it can really, cause fights and everything, but try not to let it get in the way of anything, because you just try to stay stress-free, calm and stress-free as you can, and enjoy the process.
Yes, I'll definitely remember that. Because the whole point that you're doing this, at least for me, is to have more freedom of time and location. And I do enjoy it. I do really enjoy the whole thing. So I think it's such a great advice not to forget to enjoy it. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you guys. Glad that you guys are taking charge of your time, your finances, and that you found a house freaking across the street.
I know.
Unbelievable. That's so good.
I'm very happy about that.
Imagine if a year from now, you guys sell the house and then are able to have two Airbnbs across from each other, and then the other house happened to be in the same neighborhood. That would be like, oh my God, unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I mean that's something we're looking into, because I rather just keep it all together, because it's just more convenient. Um, I do live near a downtown area that's very popular. So we're in Florida. We're not on the beach, but we're near the historic downtown. And then the beach is about 5 miles away. So, I mean, we're in a good area for it. And it's getting more popular. So I think that would be a good thing to get another house in the neighborhood. Because we love, and another thing is we love the neighborhood we live in because it's so convenient to everything. So, yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'm praying that happens for you guys. That I think everything is possible, and I think you guys are beautifying the area. So I think any homeowner would love for you guys to have their house. So I'm hoping that happens for you.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. So let us know, where do you hang out the most on social media? If people want to connect with you and follow you, where do you hang out the most at?
My Instagram is Lisa. I'm sorry. Lisa Araujo _REI.
Perfect. Okay, we'll definitely put that on the show notes for sure.
Yeah, and then the new website is reipartnermatch.com.
Oh my God, I love that. That's so easy
to
check
remember. It out when we get off. Well, if you have time when you get off the call, it's up. So check it out. So reipartnermatch.com, and you can fill out the form for now. It says coming soon. And then when we're up and running, we'll contact everybody to see, it's still in the works of how we're going to work it out. And we're also looking for matchmakers, which is our experts. And they can go on and it says apply now. And if they want to become part of the team, then they can apply and tell us about themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I'll send you at least one person that I think of. He's amazing. That I think he will be a good match for people. That is fantastic. Thank you so much, Lisa, for taking the time. I know you're busy, to share your story. I really feel it's such a beautiful story, like about family and taking charge. Like at this age, it's an amazing age of, we have the energy, we have the time, we have the resources, and why not take our lives back, not let anybody else dictate how we're going to live, but live the way we want to. So I just want to thank you for sharing and encouraging our listeners.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I was looking forward to this and talking with you. It's good to finally meet you, like talk.
Yeah, of course.
See you face to face as far as like over the computer.
It makes a difference. Yeah, no, it's been great, and I know that we're connected, so I know this is gonna be for long. So I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much for listening and watching the REI Friends podcast. This is a passion project for me because I want as many people as possible to learn about real estate investing and that they have options and choices. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.